Hey everybody, it's Clay on the trail. I am up in the Bridger Wilderness area of the Wind River Mountains today. Got away from the Uintas. I'm going to try to get up here a couple times this year. I'm with Cash, of course, Shad, and his dog Al. He'll be in here somewhere. And well, out of respect for the guy that told me about this lake, I'm not going to tell anybody where I am. You'll have to do the work and figure that out on your own, but it should be completely secluded. The road we came up was horrible. There's two other cars up here, and most people go up the trail this way. I believe we're going that way. So hopefully when we get there, we will be the only ones there. But I'm going to show you some new terrain. We're hoping that the fish where we're going eat the fish in the Uintas, that they're that big. So that's what this is all about. We'll be spending 2 nights, 3 days. We drove up here, it's like 1 o'clock. We'll be at camp by, I'm hoping 3, 4 if we stop and fish a whole bunch on the way up. We'll do some fishing at the lake we're going to. We'll fish all day tomorrow and do some exploring. Pack up in the morning and should be home by noonish on Wednesday. So lots of horseflies right here, but I haven't had anything try to land on us. I permethrined all my clothes, and I'm using picaridin as on my skin bug repellent, and so far it's working really well, but we'll see how bad it gets when we get to the lake. Okay, so we started walking down the trail and realized it was a 2-track road that was like 6/10 of a mile long. You can see the road kind of goes through right there. The road soon disappeared. I ended up pulling my saw out. We had to cut 4 trees and pull them across the road to get to a spot where I could turn around. But I did find a place, but we just saved about a half a mile, not quite the 6/10. There's a couple of switchbacks here, and that right there is, well, I'm not going to tell you, lake. And we're going to walk along the shore of it for quite a while, hit the inlet, and then go up the inlet to the outlet of the lake we're staying at. But this is a big lake. I don't know if they allow motorboats on it or what, but I think they do. It's huge. But we've already seen probably bear poop, but look at the inlet of that lake. We're gonna go fish. We're not even gonna make it to our campsite before 10 o'clock. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was bear poop, but it was dry and old. Where we stopped and cut one of the trees down, you could smell something very dead close by. So we are not in the Uintas anymore, which is where I normally hike. And here is our first big switchback. So I can't see them. There's going to be another raven coming in, or crow. There's a crow and an eagle going after it up here. A bald eagle and 2. Okay, it's really hard to see, but they're right in that crack of the trees there. You can see that raven fly by, and then the bald eagle there, she just kicked her wings up. I don't know who's intruding on who, but they're sure making a lot of racket.
She has a nest or something.
Yeah, somebody's got a nest. Oop, I gotta fix his packs. I got him lopsided. It's a big lake from what I'm used to being around. Nice sandy beach down here at the end. We've been watching the shore. If we see a fish, we're gonna go down there. But it's like 2 o'clock. It's the hottest heat of the day. least likely to have any good fishing, but we're going to be right down here on the shore here in a minute. Columbines and whatever the purple flowers are, they're just all over. It's beautiful. And in the Uintas, we do not have granite, so I love seeing these gigantic granite boulders everywhere. I wish I had that in my front yard. It'd be awesome. Okay, we ventured off trail. We are headed just up in this little basin right here. Our trail goes through the meadow that way. We're gonna walk up here to the inlet. Cash, you're getting your pack all wet. Come on, come here. He's trying to cool off. We'll never see any fish in the water that way. Oh, there's a little one, like a little teeny one.
Yeah.
Probably a 2-incher. Come on, Cash, get out of the water. I wouldn't care. I wrap all this stuff in plastic, but I bought him his sleeping pad and he's gonna have it soaked.
Maybe be an osprey.
Well, he's got a big white head. No, he is an osprey. Look at his under his wings. He's all white. Anyway, this is the inlet. The willows are gone to seed right now, and the lake's full of pine pollen on this end, but man, we are for sure not on the trail anymore. And this is just absolutely beautiful. Hey, you know, if there's a big old bird up there soaring, there's fish in here. I took my shoes off, rolled my pants up above my knees, and walked out till I was knee deep and cast my fly around. There's a whole bunch of baby fish, fry, that are 1.5 inches, 2 inch, something like that. They were pulling my my fly in, but
I hit bottom if I got a bite.
I think you hit bottom. You also got a big old knot in your line. So anyway, nothing yet, but we're going to go up here. The stream is going to get smaller, but not so small. And the reasons I love coming to places like this, guy could bring his kayak. I could kayak to right here. I could kayak way up this creek. I really am stoked at the thought of the places I could bring that thing. But no sign of fish yet. We are watching for moose. We've seen a lot of moose tracks. So the trail to the lake we're going to is so frequently used that we can't even find it. And we got into the first batch of mosquitoes that we've had so far. My permethrin is working okay. The picaridin, not so much as well so far. But I haven't had any bites, so I guess I'm still winning. But they are landing on me. Anyway, this is the terrain we're in. It changed from the sandy beach and the pine tree forest. We just got to find the trail again. So we got to this. I knew that we needed to cross water, but I had no idea what we were getting into. This is deeper than we had figured on. But I did bring water shoes. So, oh, that's a lot colder than the beach at the end of the lake. I got a pine needle poking me in the back. That didn't help. And just right here, it just gets deeper than I think I want to get in, but I don't have any choice. But I'm going to shut this off so I have both hands. Oh, this is killer. We just spent the last 30 minutes lost in a big old thicket of willows. I'm trying to follow the trail on my Gaia maps. Oh, we ain't gotta cross this again. No. Anyway, it's not correct. And the map isn't even close to correct. So we've come over here and found the trail again and the creek again, the river again. But I'm not sure we're on the trail. Yeah, and there's no fish in the water. It's really bumming us out. Here is the first look at the lake we're staying at. We finally made it. Healthy population of mosquitoes up here, and they have not got to the trail, although I don't know that they even maintain this trail anymore from what we've been going through. But we'll find our way around as we do. But our camp will be the river or lakes down there, and we'll be up here in the trees. Here is the lake. And there's a creek that goes up that little valley right there that we'll check out. It's pretty swampy through here. There's a creek that goes all through here. It seemed bigger than this, but maybe we're just seeing a piece of it. But we're gonna go find camp. On up the trail. So we hiked clear back up into here against this mountain over here. The ground wasn't very level and there was no water. Well, this here's a swamp. We almost killed ourselves getting through all the down trees just all along this bottom here. So I'm not real... I mean, I don't think I found the campsite I was supposed to find. There's a cool rock formation here, but yikes. Goodness gracious, had a caterpillar crawling on me. It scared me. I'm gonna head back towards the lake and see if we can find something there. There was at least a really nice freshwater spring that came through there. At least go back to it. And we're pretty far from the lake, coming up this far. So we'll see what we can find. I haven't given up yet. It is pretty, no doubt about it. We're still striking out on finding a camp spot. I think we're just so stinking early in the year. It is the middle of June, however, but and everything up against the lake shore is just soaked. And you can't get to the edge of the shore because the water's about a foot deep. This is going to take some doing. All right, there's a view of the lake. We're hoping it'll settle down. We'll see some fish moving on it. We did get a fire going. It's very dry wood. We built a rock ring because fire danger right now is crazy, but there's nothing dead above us. We're keeping it small. Shad's using my Nemo Hornet. I've got my Outdoor Vitals Dominion, one person. Once again, I got Cash's little bed there. He already had supper. Both of them have had supper. We haven't had a dog fight yet, knock on wood. We have some trying to think. Banana squash that's cooked with butter and brown sugar, and then some pot roast with some carrots and potatoes that I just freeze-dried. They're just leftover meals from my house. I'll show you those when they're reconstituted. We're going to eat, and then we might run up to the outlet and see what the fishing's like. So I am used to camping in the Uintas. The threat of wild animals are pretty minimal.
You ran off.
This is bear country, though. We have 2 dogs, but Al was just barking at a big old bull moose, but I wasn't quick enough. He was just right here in the meadow. It is pretty. We got a beautiful view here. We'll see if he comes back. Hopefully not through our camp.
Yeah.
The one, I don't know if it's a flaw or whatever it is that I'm learning with or freeze drying my own meals, is once they're in a bag, it's really hard to tell how much. So this, I probably brought enough for one person, and we're both sharing it. So this is the banana squash. Everything's been cooked. Brown sugar, butter. I'm sorry, it's really good. And this is the pot roast. The meat comes right back constituted. There's potatoes, and I think there's carrots in here, but I might have to dig through to find one. But it's going to be good. It just wish we had more. But we saw some fish rising, so we may go see if we can have dessert. So I didn't even check the report. I don't go out much after dark anymore. We're almost at a full moon tonight, which is awesome. I love camping in a full moon. So Al was still woofing, but the other side here, I think that moose has moved down this way. I'm hoping we don't run right into him. But I don't want to scare all the fish either. I think we can get close enough to the shore down here to fish. I put my shoes back on. I had to take my shoes and socks off to go down to get water. But down here, oh yeah, we can get close enough. Let's see if there's anything in here. Well, remember me saying that the Uintas fish get eaten by the Wind River fish? Not that one. So, thank goodness I brought camp sandals. You can't see them on, but by the time I get to what would be the shore of this lake, I'm going to be knee deep. So I figure I'll wander out until I am knee deep. Hopefully it ain't full of leeches. Whoa, nope. Edge of the shore it is. That just got crazy deep. They're kind of jumping around, but I don't know if they're feeding this close, but we'll see if we can't catch another baby. Morning, everybody. Shad, how'd you sleep last night? Nice, and actually didn't even get cold. That was a crazy thing. Cash slept on his little sleeping bag till this morning. Shad went out fishing this morning, no dice. We're just doing a little breakfast. I got some blueberry oatmeal with a hot chocolate in it. We're gonna go for a little bit of a hike this morning and then come back, break camp, and head back to Willow. We've started out on a day hike. There's a creek or river, whatever you call it up here, that comes down in and feeds the upper end of this lake. And we listen to it all night long. It sounds like thunder, so we've left our packs and just brought the essentials. We are back to where we came to find our camp last night, but I'm really happy with the camp we found. We're going to cut across here and get over against this mountain over here. We found a high point. Overlooking overlooking the lake. And there's actually, down here in the bottom, oh, right there, the inlet, and it's not swampy. It actually looks like it has gravelly banks going around it. So we got to go find that. That's the fishing place for us. Anyhow, we're gonna head up on this point and go north. Cass just jumped a pine grouse that landed somewhere in this area. I made him get behind me. We'll see if we can catch him again. Cash. And he probably ran down into the willows, but that was pretty neat. I'm gonna go down and see if there's any fish in this stretch of it, because that open stretch there was nothing. Okay guys, once again they're nothing to brag about. Oh goodness. Get my line going here. Just a baby. That's, I would almost say, I want to say a brookie. It's got orange on it, but it's got the rainbow on his sides. Maybe it's just the time of year, I don't know. So we made it back to the trail. This time, we kept trying to follow the river to get shots of it, and then would get lost off the trail. I'd try to find it with my Gaia, and kept getting lost. So this time we're going to stay to the trail. We're going to go back and camp on the beach. And when I say stay to the trail, it just became relative. So for the last mile or so, there's actually been a trail. We stayed on it. And last time we were crawling in and out through the willows, crossing water, all sorts of stuff. It's much easier if you focus on the trail and not the water and follow the trail. So we're making way better time, and it's way easier. I don't remember if I caught this on the way in, but there is quite the river crossing on this route, and it gets plenty deep. Shad loaned me one of his poles on the way in, but he fell going up when we were fishing on that creek and broke it in half. So I'm winging it. And right here it's gonna get, oof. Thank goodness it's not fast. But it's knee deep. It feels good though. Oh. Dogs are swimming. Al doesn't like water at all. He's not excited about even leaving the other bank. We'll have to actually walk away from him to get him to come. And every horsefly in the country knows that our hands are full. Go on. Good boy, keep going. Whoa. That rock looked flat and it wasn't. Come on. And come on, pal. Come on. Come on, Al. Come on. Oh, come on, boy.
All right, let's go. Oh, let's go.
That was awesome. Big jump. Come on.
Come on, let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Let's go. Good boy.
There's a mountain dog right there. All right. I don't think we have very far to go. I might just keep my sandals on. I don't remember this trail being that rugged. And we're headed right to the beach. Okay guys, night 2. We're back to the big lake, camping on the beach. I got set up. Shad decided to take a nap in his chair. That's right, he didn't drink enough water and he's feeling the effects, so he drank a bunch and he'll let it catch up to him. And anyway, we're hoping there should be some big lake trout in here, and there was a whole bunch of fry, little small fish up against the shore, and we're hoping as it cools down, especially with this wind blowing this way, that they'll come up here to feed and we can do some fly fishing tonight. But our dinner tonight is what I call aloha chili. It's a pork and beans, chili bean, and it's got pineapple in it. So we figured it was fitting for the beach. So looking forward to throwing down on that. So it's about 7, just a little after 7. We just finished dinner. We had, like I said, the aloha chili, which is it's a chili, but it's got a can of pork and beans and then pineapple in it. And it was good. And then Shad brought some raspberry cobbler. It's dehydrated. I'd have to look and see what brand it was. It was okay, but it wasn't anything I'm gonna write home about, but it was still good. I'm not very good at figuring out how much we need because when I'm making my own meals, and I've shorted us twice now. Like we both wish we had more. So he had some tortillas left, so we ate it with tortillas and that helped fill everything up. And I'm gonna walk down on this shore down here and see if there's any fish. This end, all we've ever seen here are little ones. I'd love to see a big one coming up here to eat the little ones, see if we could catch him, but I'll go up here along this other shore where all the rocks are instead of the sandy beach and see if we can catch a big fish. I caught lots of little ones so far. So it seems like all the fish we have here are those little fry. Yeah, let me change hands here. Oh, see, they keep dragging my fly down, but they're not big enough to bite it. And if I bring it back to the surface, they just drag it right back down again. They're ruining it for me though. If I get a real fish to come by, my lure won't be where it belongs. Well, good morning, everybody. Lake is still as glass. So one thing that's been happening in 2020, 2021 with all the COVID stuff is everybody is getting outdoors. You can't find a place anymore where you just don't run into hundreds of people. And some people really like that. All the guys that do the AT just thrive on, you know, nicknames and doing the hike and meeting new people. I'm not that guy. So I guess I'd like to make sure that something that gets pointed out on this trip, the only person I've seen this whole trip, even like from the trailhead, even, there was 2 cars at the trailhead, and that was it. We didn't see people. There is a guy on a boat halfway across the lake. That is the closest thing to civilization that we've seen in 3 days. So you just have to kind of know where to go, I guess. And you can still find solitude, you can still find wilderness. Now this trip has been awesome. It is the first time I got to use my Outdoor Vitals Dominion 1 tent. I just did a review, a couple videos on it. Love it, it's spacious, roomy, I slept great in it. Ventilation, I never saw an ounce of condensation in it. As with all light tents, ultralight tents, whatever, the mesh on it is pretty fragile. The wind picked my tent up last night and picked it up and threw it back down on the ground, and it poked a hole in my mesh of my door. But I used some gear tape, cut a little circle, taped it up. It'll be fine. Not worried about it, and I'm not even upset about it. It's just part of being out here. That's why I carry gear tape in my first aid kit. So I love this tent. The Windrivers, I will be back at least one time this year. I may sneak another one in too, I'm just not sure. My next trip up here though will be in my kayak. We're gonna do I think a 3, maybe 4 day, I'm not sure yet. Overnighter kayaking in and camping, you know, basically like we are here on this beach. This beach was awesome to camp on. I got sand in all my gear. I'll have to take home and clean it out, but man, it was just beautiful. Sitting on the beach last night with the campfire, full moon. I can't think of a camp that I've ever had that was better. So we are packed up. Can't even tell we've been here. I mean, it's sand. So herd of elk or something went through this morning. We could hear them breaking through the bushes. It's kind of weird to be like on a sandy beach next to a gigantic lake and have a herd of elk go through. But we could hear them talking to each other, whistling at each other. So we're gonna pack up and get out of here. Ought to be home. A lot more of a drive for me. I'm normally home in about 20 minutes. It takes about 3.5 hours to get here from my house. So I guess that's pretty fair. Most people that come to the Uintas are out of Salt Lake, and it takes them a couple hours to get there. So awesome camp out. Glad to be here. All right, last look at Beep Lake. Well, not last look, but the long look out. This would be a fun lake. I guess you can motorboat on this, so maybe it'd be weird, but it's, I guess, to me it's the same as camping in a camper versus a tent. But bring my kayak here, and you can see on this little finger over here, you don't even have to come to the end. You could camp on the leeward side, the non-wind side of that little cove, and it's got a sandy beach there. And then you'd have your boat to get out in the water to fish, because there's got to be some lunkers in this thing. Whereas everybody else camps at the other end of the lake in their campers running their generators all night, that I'm not really into. But there's got to be at least 10 lakes up here that are just like this, where they have gigantic lakes, sandy beaches. I was camping on Burt Lake one year, it's just been 10 years ago, with a group of Boy Scouts, and one of our leaders caught a 33-inch lake trout. The biggest fish I've ever seen come out of the water. Okay, we camped on that beach right there last night. We are on our final switchback going up the hill. We're both huffing and puffing. Dogs are huffing and puffing. What a beautiful place. Okay guys, we made it back to the trailhead. We ended up doing like all 3 days, the hike, the fishing, the everything, getting lost a dozen times. 13.26 miles. So, I mean, over 3 days, it wasn't bad at all. It's hot, and here at the truck, the horseflies are horrible, but everywhere else, it really wasn't too bad. I used permethrin on all my clothes, my pack, my shoes, my tent, like everything. And then I used picaridin lotion, which is just a little, I don't know, it's not as caustic as DEET is. I don't like DEET. And I got like 2 bites, and that was because I let myself go. It was like, stuff's supposed to work for up to 14 hours. It works for about 12 usually, and then I just let it wear off, and I got a couple bites, put it on, and didn't get any more. So it does work here in the Windrivers, because the mosquitoes are fierce up here, way worse than the UNS. So anyway, it was a great trip. All right, Shadster, what did you think of our trip?
Play did not disappoint. It was beautiful. We didn't see another person. The dogs had a good time.
Still haven't seen another person. There's one car at the trailhead.
A car.
And no people. Guy in a boat, and that was it. Fishing was...
You sure you want to put this on YouTube?
Well, I'm not going to tell anybody where we are. Here's a map of where we are. That's a map of the Windrivers. So, how the fishing? Little disappointing on the fishing aspect of it, because you fished up in the winds a lot, and you usually catch big old honk.
Yeah, but I've missed a lot of cool places because I was targeting fish.
Okay.
I mean, you can look at it that way too.
Okay.
I'd have never come here probably.
I would have never come here, but somebody told me if I did, I wouldn't see another person the whole time I was here. So
and
that was
nowadays that's bigger sometimes than fishing.
Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed something new for me, for sure. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe. Have a great day.